now know when it is we are going to see Caitlin Clark back on a basketball court with other participants. This is going to be rather interesting because we are going to see Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Bueckers all playing together.
A training video that no one anticipated was just released. At the USA Basketball Senior National Team Camp, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Bueckers are all working out together. The internet went completely crazy. The video of these three best players coming together for the first time in an official capacity is widely available. This is more than just training for basketball. This is an assertion regarding women's basketball's future. There's a legitimate reason why fans are losing it. Do you worry more about the implications for international competition, or are you more thrilled to see these three together? Leave a comment below.
The 18 participants also include former Olympians and World Cup gold medalist Chelsea Gray, Brittany Griner, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, and Kalia Copper, plus 3-on-3 Olympian De'Erica Hamby. Bree Jones, a member of the 2022 World Cup team, was also named to the training camp squad, while 2023 #1 draft.
Last week, a video of Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Bueckers training together at USA Basketball's Senior National Team Camp went viral. This isn't just any old workout. From December 12th to 14th, Duke University will host an official USA Basketball training camp. The basketball community is still figuring out how this will affect women's basketball on the global scene, and the ramifications are enormous. Let's begin by comprehending the true nature of this situation. In order to assess players for the 2026 FIA Women's World Cup, USA Basketball organized a training camp. Sue Bird, the recently hired managing director, is in charge of assembling a squad that will compete for the World Cup gold medal for the 5th time in a row. That isn't only a light-hearted selection procedure. That's hunting for legacies. That's attempting to keep up one of the greatest victory streaks in the history of international sports.
Here on ESPN, there was an article put up. Shout out to Alexa Philippou. You be on it, girl. Alexa, you be on it, girl. You be on it. Here it says, Caitlin Clark, Paige Bueckers, Angel Reese, and Juju Watkins will be among the 10 players making their USA Basketball Senior National Team camp debut.
This camp's roster appears to be an all-star group of top players, both past and present. Chelsea Gray, who has won gold medals at the Olympics and World Cup, is present. Arguably the most powerful player in women's basketball worldwide, Brittany Griner, is present. Kelsey Plum contributes her history of championships. The current wave of WNBA talent is embodied by Jackie Young. The veteran presence is completed by Kalia Copper, a reliable performer at the top levels. De'Erica Hamby, a 3x3 Olympian, and Bonna Jones, a 2022 World Cup gold medalist, are also in the camp. This is where things start to become very interesting, though. Some of the most promising young basketball players are also present at this camp. Aaliyah Boston, the top overall pick in the 2023 WNBA draft, is anticipated to be present. The USA Basketball Senior National Team Camp is being attended by Cameron Britt, Lauren Betts, Sonia Centrin, Kiki Arifon, Rakia Jackson, and Veronica Burton for the first time. In junior events, a number of these players have previously won gold medals with USA Basketball, demonstrating the pipeline of excellence that continues to support the senior team. Now, Paige Bueckers, Angel Reese, and Caitlin Clark are the three names that have everyone talking. In women's basketball, these three athletes stand for something special. They are the generation that brought the WNBA to the notice of the general public. They are the athletes who made women's basketball a must-watch on TV. They are the athletes who introduced new audiences to professional women's sports and changed viewing habits. It is truly historic that they are training together at an official USA Basketball senior camp. Caitlin Clark is now well known throughout the world. She is currently one of the most marketable athletes in sports due to her scoring prowess, court vision, and capacity to execute under pressure. She has brought the WNBA into discussions that it had not previously participated in. America's corporations paid attention. Basketball scouts from around the world took notice. The world's basketball fans all took note. People watch Clark perform. One of the best two-way players in women's basketball is Angel Reese. Her defense is oppressive. She has exceptional skills to finish around the basket and play in the post. Her fierce competitiveness is unparalleled. Reese has a contagious intensity on the court. Everyone around her is forced to play harder by her. At every level she has participated in, she is the type of player who wins titles. Paige Bueckers is a prime example of competence and adaptability. She is one of the most complete players in the league because of her versatility, three-point shooting range, and playmaking skills. When necessary, Bueckers can take over games, but she also feels at ease in supporting roles. In international basketball, where squads must adjust to various opponents and playing styles, that kind of adaptability is crucial. The way international women's basketball will develop in the next years is completely altered by the fact that all three are now training together in an official USA basketball capacity. When you combine their skill, marketability, and competitive spirit, you're looking at something that has the potential to drastically change how people around the world perceive women's basketball.
Here's the juicy parts. The training camp will serve as an evaluation opportunity. As newly minted USA Women's National Team Managing Director Sue Bird is tasked with naming a team for 2026's FIBA World Cup in September of 2026, where the USA will go for its 5th straight World Cup gold medal. I don't know who will broadcast that, but if Caitlin Clark is on those teams...
Cheryl Reeve, the head coach at Duke University and recently appointed head coach of the national team, is in charge of the training camp. The fact that she is including assistant coaches from the WNBA shows how seriously USA basketball takes this evaluation process. The coaching staff consists of Stephanie White, Nate Tibbetts, and Natalia Tatsi. These choices aren't made at random. In women's basketball, these coaches are among the most renowned. Those who have demonstrated their ability to cultivate talent and manage intricate systems. The coaching arrangement suggests that USA Basketball is tackling this World Cup cycle with the same fervor and expertise that established the American women's program as the benchmark for many years. The camp's objectives are to assess skill, foster camaraderie, impart systems, and determine which player combination offers the U.S. the best chance of winning in 2026.
Now, we talked about the fact that Team USA, I believe it is in March, is going to play, I believe, in some qualifiers. That's probably when we're going to get to see Caitlin Clark play actual meaningful basketball again. But training camp is coming. The senior camp is coming. And it's...
The appointment of Sue Bird as managing director is noteworthy. One of the best point guards in history is Bird. She took home several gold medals at the Olympics. She was a WNBA champion. She is aware of what it takes to compete at the top level and what makes excellent international teams stand out from mediocre ones. When it comes to the selecting and preparation phase, Bird will not settle for anything less than perfection. The training video's widespread popularity highlights a significant aspect of women's basketball's current situation. These players are sought after by the public. When they train together, people are interested in how they interact. People are aware that these are some of the world's greatest basketball players, and they want to see their brilliance for themselves. The basketball community's desire for material with top female athletes is demonstrated by the fact that a training video created a lot of social media buzz. This camp's timing is very intriguing. Players have a short off-season before committing to USA Basketball once the WNBA season concludes in November. Midway through December, during the holiday season, when casual sports fans frequently have more time to consume basketball content, the camp takes place. After that, qualifying takes place in March to start the actual examination. The number of watchers could skyrocket if Clark, Ree, and Bueckers are chosen for those qualifiers. The international basketball schedule is quite competitive. Qualifiers take place in March. In September 2026, there will be the World Cup. If the Paris Olympics result in the next Olympic cycle, there are Olympic trials. The talent pool available to USA Basketball is larger than it has been in recent memory, and the schedule is jam-packed. Finding the players that provide the squad the best chance to win on the biggest stages is a challenge for Sue Bird and the coaching staff. The blend of fresh talent and senior experience is what makes this time unique. USA Basketball isn't merely preparing for 2026. Long-term construction is what they are doing. When the veterans from this age inevitably depart, they will assess which young players can take on significant responsibilities. The future of women's international basketball is embodied by Clark, Reese, and Bueckers. Their performance in this camp has the potential to impact not only 2026 but also 2028 and beyond. From an international standpoint, the possible Team USA team that might include veterans like Griner, Gray, and Plum alongside Clark, Reese, and Bueckers would be quite dangerous. Imagine attempting to defend against that blend of skill, athleticism, and basketball acumen. A flawless strategy would be required. The error margins would be extremely narrow, even in that case. There will be fierce competition at Duke during this camp. All of these top athletes strive to demonstrate that they are worthy of representing their nation on the largest platforms in the globe. If they don't think they have a real chance of making the final roster, nobody wants to waste time training. Practice competition is likely to be more physically taxing than most games during the regular season. At this level of international basketball, that is the norm. Everything will be meticulously documented by the coaching staff. In the gym, who is respected? Who improves teammates' performance? In high-stress scenarios, who makes winning plays? Who is in the best physical shape? Who exhibits the kind of basketball IQ necessary to carry out complex offensive and defensive plans, and who effectively responds to criticism and disappointments? The evaluation procedure takes into account each of these elements. Reese Bueckers from USC is also making her senior camp debut, which is an intriguing fact. Bueckers won the National Player of the Year award the previous season, demonstrating that USA Basketball is using a broad criterion to assess potential. Bueckers won't take part in on-court activities while she recovers from an ACL tear in March, but it's important that she was invited to watch and learn about the program. It demonstrates that USA Basketball is considering potential future contributors and the development pipeline. If videos continue to appear online, this training camp will receive significant media attention. Organizations know how to satisfy the appetite of their fans for content. Content that is shared on social media channels includes coaching moments, competitive parts, drill practice, and behind-the-scenes film. High-quality footage will almost certainly find its way into the public domain due to the viral nature of Clark, Reese, and Bueckers training together. There are significant ramifications for women's basketball on a global scale. Other nations are also keeping an eye on this development. They are observing who is working out together in the Duke gym. They are attempting to ascertain what the U.S. is constructing. They are modifying their own player development tactics and programs. USA Basketball's actions have a significant impact on the global women's basketball scene. Because, to be honest, the United States has dominated for so long that other nations are constantly trying to catch up. However, the women's basketball community now acknowledges that these players should receive the same amount of funding, resources, and attention as men's basketball. Women's basketball is being treated with the same professionalism as men's basketball at the international level, as evidenced by the training camp at Duke with top-notch coaching staff, the evaluation process overseen by someone of Sue Bird's caliber, and the security and privacy measures to safeguard player development. The story behind this training video's viral success is also significant. The basketball isn't the only thing. It has to do with representation and visibility. Women's sports are normalized as content worth watching and sharing when footage of professional female athletes working out together becomes viral on social media. It increases the audience's commitment to their performances. It builds excitement for upcoming contests. These films are motivating for young female basketball players. They witness Caitlin Clark working out with top athletes. They witness Angel Reese challenging herself both emotionally and physically. They witness Paige Bueckers applying intricate basketball principles. If they dedicate themselves to the sport at the top level, these young athletes perceive a roadmap for their own growth. Women's basketball has a chance to keep gaining momentum at the 2026 World Cup. The prominence and marketability of women's basketball will soar if Team USA prevails and includes Clark, Reese, and Bueckers. The competition may draw unprecedented numbers of viewers. Sponsorship opportunities multiply. The narrative around these players and their global impact expands significantly. Looking ahead to March's qualifying games, the basketball world will be waiting to see who actually gets selected and how these teams perform. Will Clark start? Will Reese get major minutes? Will Bueckers have a featured role? How will these players perform when they're elevated to the international stage? These questions will drive massive viewership if the games are broadcast properly and promoted effectively. The practical reality is that if NBC or another major broadcaster decides to air these qualifiers and the World Cup, and if Clark is featured prominently, the viewership numbers could shock the sports industry. Women's basketball has demonstrated that, with proper marketing and promotion, it can draw enormous crowds. A World Cup with some of the world's most gifted and marketable athletes might genuinely vie for viewers' attention with other big athletic events. A pivotal moment is represented by the training video that went viral. It's the point at which both casual spectators and ardent basketball fans realized that top women's basketball has developed into something genuinely unique. The level of ability, athleticism, talent, and competition all match or exceed what many people anticipated from women's basketball. These aren't athletes giving it their all. These are top-tier pros competing at championship levels. The USA basketball training camp at Duke has the potential to permanently change women's basketball. The actual training sessions between Paige Bueckers, Angel Reese, and Caitlin Clark are just getting started. If these three are chosen, there will be a huge audience for the 2026 World Cup qualifiers in March. This is how women's basketball will develop in the future. Give up making forecasts. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more WNBA videos.